Monday, my children! Did you think we were only looking at stories from the Longbox's beginning this month? Of course not! Especially when last year we got to see a slasher make their way through the New York subway. So let's see the killings continue.
And they continue in... school.
Well, this got uncomfortable fast.
Fortunately, just to spoil it for you, Maniac Harry does not kill any children in the story. Not for lack of trying, though. But let's back up. Zelda and Gina are trying, unsuccessfully, to chase down any leads on the Maniac, even going to a liquor store owner who claims the Maniac held him up for cash. Still, Gina takes the opportunity to buy an entire case of alcohol. Meanwhile, at a private school in the Bronx, young Raphael Bowie has to endure bullies. Not just other students, but the rigid security officer who berates him for not having a clean uniform because of the aforementioned student bullies. The school is funded by a private corporation, Smarts Corp, which of course cuts corners on education. Not that it will matter, because the Maniac arrives. Gina, meanwhile, is contacted by Gardner Birnbaum, the writer who had originally wrote the book on the Maniac. He wants to buy the rights to what really happened on the train in the first volume to use for an ending to his latest book, but she turns him down. Back at the school, the abusive security guard, who had earlier boasted that he was so intimidating that even the Maniac wouldn't show up to the school, gets his head chopped off. A poor teacher also meets a gruesome fate as he tries to lock the students in a classroom, but fortunately Ralph provides a distraction to get the Maniac running. The principal of the school, in the meantime, has much more pressing concerns, calling up Smarts Corp to be advised on what to do now that the Maniac is running amok.
He gets their voicemail. That is not a joke, or at least it's not mine.
Lena Petrella, the young girl from the train last time, spends the entire miniseries in an attempt to get to the police station to tell the two cops what happened, what she learned about the Maniac, fending off a child molester and her own trauma of what happened, only to meet ultimate failure. I say this now just to get it out of the way in case there's a third volume and it becomes relevant, but otherwise it sadly amounts to nothing here.
Real happy episode so far.
In the meantime, Zelda and Gina learn of the Maniac's attack at the school and make their way there, but find themselves stuck in traffic because of a baseball game at Yankee Stadium. Ralph, in the meantime, hides himself in a locker to try to keep the Maniac away. Zelda and Gina finally arrive at the school, finding protesters outside who think the mayor will sacrifice the kids. Fortunately, Zelda's got a plan. The alcohol she bought wasn't for drinking, it was for Molotov cocktails. As the SWAT team arrives to try to secure the area, none too eager to enter the school, the principal finally gets through to Smarts Corp. And they say he needs to go out and give them an accurate picture of what's happening. The SWAT team is ordered to clear the protesters and flood the school, Zelda succeeding in burning the Maniac with the fire. It drives him off, though the mayor calls to let her know that she's fired for getting involved. The two chase after the Maniac, the SWAT team only resulting in more panic and even shooting the principal who was trying to help Raphael out of the locker. Unfortunately, the Maniac is driven out right towards Yankee Stadium, where he begins a proper slaughter. Gina throws Molotov after Molotov at him, screaming at him to burn. When he finally collapses, she takes his weapon and puts it straight through his head, finally ending the menace. She's a hero now, as seen on social media. But she immediately leaves, the mayor claiming she quit the department. Zelda decides to sell her story to Birnbaum, get the truth out there while also maybe starting to live her own life. Gina, meanwhile, drives off for parts unknown, the radio speculating that the Maniac's death video may have been faked.
And perhaps it was, my children. After all, if this is patterned off of Friday the 13th, well, the killer there has been said to be dead many times before, too.